Hello and welcome to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, Micah Richards and me, Gareth Lineker. Yes, the band is back together. Before we get cracking though, we have an announcement to make. It's big news for our listeners who are fantasy football fans. We are launching the Players Lounge, our free-to-join club and prize league. This is your chance to join the official fantasy football club of The Rest is Football. Think you're a bit of a football fantasy genius like Micah does? Then come and prove it. Join our league, build your team and try to beat us and others from across the Goalhanger network. We'll have monthly prizes, plenty of FPL banter in our exclusive Slack community and a few surprises along the way. And to help you get ahead, we've teamed up with Fantasy Football Hub to bring you some brilliant tools from AI-powered team ratings and transfer tips to expert team reveals. You'll be able to get 1 month's Hub access absolutely free as part of your Players Lounge membership. You'll find the code in your welcome email. Perfect to get your FPL season off to a flyer. Remember, signing up for the Players Lounge is completely free and you can join by heading to therestisfootball.com or by hitting the link in the description. I can see the excitement on your face, Micah.
I can't wait. What you've got to promise me something though. You and Alan have to play this time. Don't be fobbing it off with me, me and Harry. You know what I mean? You've got to actually get involved. You've got to feel it. You've got to make it. Your weekends will never be the same again.
I've seen how miserable it makes you. So
yes, you have.
But also ecstatic.
But when you win and when you do a tactical move, when you've been thinking about someone for so long and you take him out and you draft somebody in and they get a brace or even a hat-trick. Oh, my God. Beautiful.
And here was me thinking that you were going to be our captain. Well, the only time in history I was happy to say over to you, Micah.
I think that's the way it should be. But we'll chip in and we'll give you a bit of advice along the way, Micah. I know that you have some sort of involvement with Fantasy Football Hub. Tell us what they do and how they're going to help.
No, they're absolutely amazing. So I have a team which I use their data. So they basically predict what's going to be a high scoring week, but they don't just look at 1 week. They might look at 3 weeks or 5 weeks. So for instance, Haaland normally starts really quick. So if you look at his past seasons, he might be in one of their experts, which they really are experts picks. So they will do some research over the fixtures, obviously. The player, if he's had a good pre-season, is it worth putting him in now? Is it worth waiting? His value. So Haaland, because of his record, is always really high. So I think on the latest game, it'll probably be around 14 million quid. Something like that. But you've got 100 million to build, I think it's 15 players. So if you take 14 mil for Haaland, then you're a bit low
you have
elsewhere.
To balance it. So it's very difficult to say have Salah, Haaland,
correct,
and maybe Isak as well when he's moved to Liverpool. Sorry, I was not saying. Is it too soon? Too soon.
Go easy, lads. Come on.
All right, we will. We'll come to that shortly.
The hub are brilliant. All the experts I've got on there will help you massively.
Yeah. Did you know there's a bit of a shift in the rules, Micah?
I heard it.
I've got them written down here. Harry's given them to me. And he says it could make a real tactical difference. So here it is. Defenders and midfielders can now get 2 points plus bonus points opportunities, clearances, blocks, interceptions, tackles for defenders, plus ball recoveries for midfielders. Who's going to count all this stuff? So that actually, it shifts because I would think for players that play perhaps like a defensive midfield role or players that perhaps don't get loads of goals and assists, but they do like the tactical side. A Tarkowski, a Rodri in midfield,
a Rice,
Declan Rice, for example. Yeah. Although he now is a free kick master, I'd imagine, this season as well.
Yeah, a little tactical tweak. I don't know. It's hard. I think it's made it harder now because, you don't know how the bonus structure's actually going to play out in the games,
Have you set up your team yet,
I've
Micah?
got a little something,
yeah.
but I'll change.
I think we've got Rice in it so far.
Have we?
He's included because of this rule change, but I know damn well it will change about 400 times before the start of the season.
It will, 100%.
Yeah. Caicedo might be another one as well. People like that. I suppose it rewards the unsung heroes, possibly. The ones that don't always get the point.
It's about time. The amount of tackles I made in my era, I would have been star player on that. I didn't get no credit for anything that I did.
It's just taken him about 4 minutes to flip it round to Micah Richards.
No, I tell you what, Al. If you were about 45 years younger, you'd be in our team. You'd definitely banging the goals. Anyway, we'll have more of that as the season goes on. Little summer catch up. Mikey, you're still in your little holiday in Barbados, although you look like you're in Cuba.
So yes, the hot guys. I thought, what would you say, Cuba?
Bit Che Guevara or whoever it was. Who's the guy? One of those kind of rebels.
You know what? I've not had a haircut for 2 weeks, and my hair is an absolute disgrace. So don't ask me to. I don't know what you're laughing for, Alan.
It's a lot easier with no hair, Micah.
Yeah, I'd like to see you bald, actually, Mike.
I
think you'd get away with it.
No, I couldn't get away with bald.
So tell us what you've been up to, both of you.
I've been struggling massively on the golf course. You know what it's like, guys. One day you can think you have cracked this game, and the next day bites you on the backside. So I'm struggling with my golf here.
What about you guys? Are you not going anywhere? I mean, like I said, I'm in the lovely Barbados. I mean, the food, the weather. It's carnival on Monday as well. So yeah, I'll be shaking the booty around on Monday.
It's carnival every day. For that.
It's carnival every day in Barbados, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Judging by some of your messages, you've been hammering that rum punch as well.
That's not the only thing I've been hammering, I tell you. It's 10 minutes into the
Goodness,
start of the season as you mean to go on. To be honest, I nipped to New York, obviously, for the final of the Club World Cup. And apart from that, I actually like being here in the summer because my kids are all grown up. So it's not like you have to take your holidays when they're off school and stuff. So it's quite nice in London in the summer because everyone goes away and there's not so much traffic and things like that. So I'll probably go away. I think I might do Ibiza in September, early September.
Oh, you're going to link up with your Wayne, are you?
Well, I'm linking up with them all next week because it's a family wedding. My niece Tia's getting married, so we'll wish them well, and I'm very much looking forward to that.
Oh,
nice.
That's going to be splendid.
Lovely.
I think so.
Lovely.
Did I tell you I went there in Dubai? Ocean. I went ocean in Dubai in March. Wowzers. I mean...
you get about, don't you, Micah?
It's just a great time, innit? Honestly. Yeah. Thank God for life, eh? Thank God.
Indeed. You got to live it if you can.
Yeah.
The other thing that's happened is obviously a major triumph for the Lionesses, and a huge congratulations to them.
Massive.
I did a couple of little bits where I linked into our sister podcast, The Rest is Football, Daily Brightness, because it felt like it was their moment, not ours so much. But congratulations to them. I mean, I think they only led in the knockout stages for 4.5 minutes over the 3 games, but it just showed you how gutsy they were, and they did what you have to do to win a game of football sometimes.
Different ways to win, isn't there?
It was weird because I watched all the games, and the first game against France, I was thinking, what is going on here?
Yeah.
You know, Mary Earps retiring, Millie Bright taking time out for her own health. And I thought, you're losing 2 big characters there. And you know what the press do? They jump on it, or England have got no chance of all these big characters out the squad. I was thinking, but they've still got something about them. Even when they're losing, it looks like they're still in the game, which is weird. Normally, sometimes when a team beats you comfortably, you're thinking, is that going to knock their confidence? And after that France game, they had Netherlands, and that was a game which they had to win. And they turned up massively, you know? I was thinking, fair play to them. And then they had the big one against Wales, didn't they? And you're thinking, okay, it's a bit of a derby. What's going to go on here? Are they going to get the emotions get to them? But I think they just handled every moment perfectly. Even when they wasn't playing scintillating football, they just managed to get through. And Hannah Hampton.
Oh, what a good goalkeeper. I mean, penalties particularly, obviously.
It wasn't even just about what she was doing on the pitch. It was the pressure. How can you replace Mary Earps?
Yeah,
everyone's been talking about Mary Earps' situation. So you're going into the competition thinking, no one even wants me here. Obviously, she's a fantastic goalkeeper. She did all sorts for Chelsea in their season, pretty much won everything. But then to come into it where you're sort of not wanted and then perform like that mental toughness, resilience, I just thought was out of this world. And when they got to the final, and Spain absolutely bossed it. Some of their players, Caldente, Bonmati,
some really good football, didn't they?
Even like the young player like Lopez, really good. Paralluelo, who came on, who was really good at the World Cup, but wasn't that good in the Euros. He had such an array of talent, but to come through that game and take it to pens, when it went to pens, I just knew it was going to happen.
Thought exactly the same.
Their attitude was amazing, wasn't it? I mean, I actually watched the final and just thought how impressive their togetherness was and everything else. Because you were right, Micah. Spain did play better than England. They didn't really have a centre forward, did they?
No,
and that hurt them. But you've got to give huge credit for the way England, when they didn't play well, how they got through games and how they won the final. And that's a great trait in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, a couple of great performances as well, and emerging talents in Anjumang. I mean, she's got something when she came on. She's got that almost that thing that perhaps the goal scorers have. Alan, the ball drops in the right place at the right time and finished really well. Chloe Kelly's. I mean, I think she's great. What a personality and the confidence. And
her penalty was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I knew she was going to score that. Even though obviously in the semi-final, it bounced back off the keeper and she put one in, didn't she? But to do that, that was a Shearer-esque penalty, dare I say.
Great one, wasn't it? It was the way she sort of lined up, and I don't think anyone really thought anything other than the ball's going to hit the back of the net, and the way she just whipped it and smashed it. Yeah, that was great confidence.
It's great for the sport, not just women's sport, but the sport of football in this country, to get that feeling of success and triumph. And well, let's hope the men can do something at some point, win a bloody trophy.
I'm telling you now, I don't think England will win the World Cup, but I think they'll win the next Euros.
It's in the UK.
Yeah,
Ireland.
I just think with the players that they have now, I think it'll be too hot next year in the World Cup. I don't think they'll play at the best, but I think that the tournament after the Euros, I think they've got enough to do it, definitely.
An early prediction from Micah.
I'm going big and I'm going early.
He's going big and he's going early. That's happened before, hasn't it? if ever a phrase sums someone up.
Barbados, isn't it?
I think on that note we need a break. Brilliant. Welcome back to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, me, Gary Lineker, and Micah Richards, who's now fully recovered from going big and going early. He's ready to go again. But what we want to do here in the second half of the show is to talk about some of the transfers that have happened, some of the ones that might happen, who's bought what so far that perhaps has impressed us, and likewise perhaps that's not impressed us. Before we start talking about all the transfers and possible transfers, just a reminder, we're recording this on Friday morning, so by the time you receive it on Monday, there might be or may not be things that have happened in the transfer market. I think there's only probably one place to start, Alan. We've had some of your frustrations on our group chat over the last few weeks, and the possibility of you losing his image has actually disappeared on our screens at this point. Things have been that bad. Don't leave us now, Alan, because you need to tell us about your thoughts on the whole situation at Newcastle this summer, and following the success, obviously, of winning the first trophy in a lifetime. This seems like a loss of momentum.
I think up to now it's been a disastrous window for Newcastle. What was meant to be where Newcastle kicked on, they invested heavily in the team and they were going to go to another level. It's been anything but, to be honest. They've missed out on several number one targets that they had. They're probably going to lose their best player. They're one of the league's best centre forwards, if not the best. So up to now, it's been really poor. But I don't know. I mean, I would like to ask, where's the director of football or sporting director? Where's the chief executive officer? Because Newcastle have known for a long time now that they were going to lose Darren Eales. They've lost the sporting director for whatever reason. The second one within 12 months, and then it just seems it's just been one bad
Who's
bit
running
of bad
the show,
news.
Alan?
I don't
Who's
know.
actually
I mean,
running the show?
That's what I was going to ask. I mean, if Liverpool, like they have done, apparently put a bid in to Newcastle for Isak. Who actually turns it down? Who do they go to? Because Newcastle are out in, I don't know, Singapore or Seoul or wherever they are. Who actually turns the bid down? Because there is no chief executive, there is no sporting director. So I don't know. It just seems up to now, Newcastle's window has been a mess. I know they've got Alanga in, which I think is a really good signing, but they need a lot more than that. And they've lost out, it seems, on every number one target they had, which obviously wasn't meant to be the case.
I think the one thing we can probably read as true is that Liverpool have had a bid down, their first proper bid, I think, 110 million, and they've turned that down. I mean, first bids are always going to be turned down, I imagine. So, I mean, I know what are you laughing at, Micah?
They wouldn't get Dan Burn for 110 million, never mind Isak.
Honest to God, the hurt in his face. It's not even in his voice. It's in his as he's talking about the bid. It's just but you knew it was coming at some point, didn't you, Al? I mean, you didn't expect it maybe now, especially with the season that Newcastle had. But when we keep talking about strikers, who's about who should they go to? What prize can you get him for? Isak was always going to be a target for a top. Yeah. I'm not saying Newcastle's not a top club. Okay, let's say I don't want the whole Geordies.
Just choose your words carefully.
I love the Geordies. Do not turn the Geordies against me. You know that. But for a club that is going to be challenging for the top prizes, let's say, the Champions League, the Premier Leagues. Obviously, he won the League Cup, but on a consistent basis, So it was inevitable, really, that someone was going to come knocking.
I'm okay with the situation. I mean, I'm okay. I thought he might have stayed for another season and then this would have happened next summer. But it is, I've said it before, I said it last week. It is what it is. If he can't be persuaded to stay, then if someone offer Newcastle what they want, then they've got to take that, because ultimately you just say, thank you very much for the great memories you've given us. Off you go.
What's your view, Alan? What's your view on as far as Isak's concerned? Does it anger you the way he's behaved in this? The fact he's not...
It's football, guys.
I know it is, but I'm just saying you are not... obviously, you've been there, you've been in situations, but you're also a fan of the football club. What's your feelings towards him?
No, I'm not angry at all towards him. I understand how football works. I know what happens in and around the game. I probably understand his mentality. Do I like it? Do I understand it? Probably two different things. But I know what football's about and I know how it works. And obviously Liverpool have been into him or his agent. I just thought it might have happened next year. And if it really is impossible for Eddie to turn him around and he says no, and it sounds like that is the case, I want to be out now. You get your big money for him, whoever's prepared to pay that, and you get other people in, hopefully beforehand. And then you move on. As I said, no individual is bigger than any football club. And if he doesn't want to be there, fine. Get what you can and get him out and say thanks very much for the memories. Off you go.
So who would you want next? I see you've been linked with Sesko, haven't you? But he's not going to come cheap.
But they'll have a few quid though, won't they?
They'll have a few quid, but I mean, you've still got to... What did they spend on Alanga? Was it 50 million on Alanga?
55 million, I think.
What they're talking about, 70, 80 for Sesko is... I mean, it's still a lot to pay to replace, you know?
When you look at the other situation as well, but if you read the reports and they are correct, then Wissa is a target for Newcastle. He hasn't gone back into training to Brentford, so it's like you know how football works. You know how it is, and so long as you understand that, then and you don't get too angry at the situation. And if they can get Wissa in, if they can get Šeško in, then that ultimately will be decent business, I think.
Wissa is obviously he's a proven goal scorer in the Premier League, and I think that he's not so young as he was. He's about 28, 29, Wissa, I think, something like that.
But you know he can do it in the Premier League, which adds up to a lot. And the other one, Šeško is. I know he's a lot younger, and it would be more of a gamble on him because you're going to have to pay a decent size fee for him. I saw him 2 or 3 times in the Champions League last season, and there's definitely room for improvement. Yes, there's certainly a talent there, but there's a lot of improvement can be made, and you bring in someone who's unknown into the Premier League. And that's always going to be a bit of a risk. And
that moves us on perhaps to Arsenal and Gyökeres, who have paid £73.5 million for him. Micah's doing. I don't think he's putting his hands over his eyes because he thinks it's that emoji that is like, oh no, this is really bad. But that's his goal celebration.
That's his goal celebration. Yeah. It's not regardless of what. How many times have we said Arsenal need a striker? Punditry. Every week we've said...
Well, not just us, the whole...
We've said it.
Everyone.
And you know, like reports come out, they don't need a striker, they're happy with the way... And then it comes and like, they needed a striker for a while now. I still believe they need a left winger as well. They've been linked with Eze, haven't they? I think Martinelli can definitely do a job, but I think he's more of an impact player right now. Great to have off the bench. So if they've got someone like Eze, it'd be amazing for him. But in terms of Gyökeres, I think it's a very good signing. I still think there are question marks whether he can do it at this level consistently, because I've watched a load of videos on him and I think he's really good in terms of his movement. He's a really clever striker, and he can run in behind. I don't think people should be expecting him to be holding up the ball really well. There's times in games I've watched the ball's gone up to him and it's coming back off him, and then he'll score 2 goals and everyone said he's been absolutely amazing. But
he's a runner, isn't he?
Really good movement. He's a running behind and will cause defences problems, but I think it's exactly what Arsenal needed, for sure.
It is a gamble, though, as it always is with a striker. I mean, he's had 2 really, really good seasons in Portugal. But I saw a stat last season. He scored 37 goals last season. How many do you think he scored against the top half teams?
I'll let Alan answer.
It's 3, Alan.
Is it really?
3
wow,
against.
okay.
So that would you have a concern? That might just be one of those things. Perhaps the team didn't play as well on those occasions and stuff. But obviously he's been here before. He's played in England. He played, obviously went around
Coventry, wasn't he?
Coventry was there for a bit. I tell you, well, let's see, and let's wish him well, because obviously it's a big signing for Arsenal, and they definitely needed a 9. Everybody's been saying it. But I tell you, he looks exciting. I mean, everyone's talking about this young 15-year-old boy. Of course you do. Max Daumann. I mean, he's been featuring in some of the friendlies, and I saw him playing the game against your lot, Alan. It was Newcastle, wasn't it? I mean, boy, oh boy. I mean, he was doing some amazing stuff. He looks like a man already. And he's got so much talent. He beats people effortlessly, and he can, finish, and he looks incredibly confident. Micah's got a big smile on his face because it's your team, Mike.
All right, can we get the record straight, mate? Because City fans are
Please put the record straight, Micah. We've been asking you for 2 years.
City, I love you more than you will ever know. More than you ever know.
Answer a simple question. Are you an Arsenal fan or not? It's really easy. Yes or no?
Well, are we talking past tense or are we talking
Micah?
Current.
It's a really simple question. Yes or no? Are you an Arsenal fan?
So I was an Arsenal fan when I was younger.
I'm just looking for a yes or a no, Micah.
And when
That's
I
all I'm
signed
looking
for Man
for.
City at 14, I became a Man City fan. Is that okay?
I might change my team.
What about Leeds as well? Wasn't there Leeds in there as well?
Marching up.
God, you've got all three in the Premier League now. God, you're in trouble.
I'm going to be scrambling come game day, aren't I?
Yeah.
But that's only because I'm from Leeds. That's only because I'm from Leeds.
You know, we're on about the transfers and clubs and the business and what they're doing now. Can you, the chasing pack being Newcastle, Spurs, Forest. But if you look at the top four, what they've done, the business, Chelsea, City, Arsenal and Liverpool. I mean, they've spent an absolute fortune and they're not finished yet. And that's the chasing pack, as I said, all of those clubs, Man United will want to do better. But the top four, after what they did last year and have spent a fortune amongst themselves. And the chasing, I mean, it's like they must be looking, thinking, goodness me.
I mean, I don't want to rub salt in your wounds, Alan, but I mean, if Isak does go to Liverpool, which appears likely, even though, you know, people are saying, oh, they've turned it down. I mean, how good are they going to be?
I know, yeah.
I mean, the signings of Wirtz and Kirkes and now, you know, Isak.
Frimpong.
Etiquette, Frimpong.
Oh, you know what? That's going to be a tongue twister, that one. You know, when we're doing the punditry.
I know. I think I probably just said it wrong.
Ekitike.
Etiquette.
You said it wrong again.
Ekitike. Go on, say it.
Ekitike.
Ekitike.
Honestly, it took me a year.
It's difficult to get you need to get the etiquette right to get the etiquette.
It took me a year to get that. Honestly,
it's a tongue twister, but I don't have to worry about that on Match Today this season. Good luck with that one.
Are you in for the first match of the day, Micah?
No, I'm not. I'm doing Super Sunday. Man United.
Is it Man United and Arsenal on the Sunday?
It's on the Sunday, yes. Super Sunday.
Let's talk about why you talked about Manchester City there, the love of your life.
Yes.
And I think we talked before, didn't we, about the signings that they made during the Club World Cup with Reinders and Ike Nori and Ryan Cherky. But they've now added James Trafford, 27 million quid. He was obviously at City way back, wasn't he? Then went to Burnley and had a buyout clause, but looks like 27 million. Emerging talent, no question about that. Struggled in that season, didn't he, with Burnley when they went up, but had a brilliant season in the Championship. Tony, my business partner on Goal Hangers, a massive Burnley fan, and he's been raving about him, hasn't he? And it's funny, as soon as anything gets mentioned on Burnley, he's straight in the group chat, isn't he, Tony? He's straight in, either with joy or rage, like any other football fan. But he says that the season he's just had was sensational. So, do you think? I suppose, unless Ederson leaves, is he likely to start, or will he be the cup keeper for this season? And then,
it's a good question. I don't know what the plans are at this moment in time, but in terms of, I remember a couple of seasons ago, he had everything, absolutely everything, and then that season that you was talking about there, guys, it didn't work. It didn't work for them. They was trying to play out. He had too many shots to face. He was struggling in confidence a little bit.
He was quite bullied a little bit on set pieces, but apparently he's bulked up quite a lot. Correct. And he's looking like he's basically become a man, I think.
But there was something special about him, and I remember the under-21s tournament where he saved a penalty in the final. Didn't concede a single goal. Didn't concede, and it was his interview afterwards where he said something like he knew he was going to save it. He's got that, I won't say arrogance, but that confidence, let's say. And he believes in his ability. And there was aspects to his game where I thought, he's going to be a top keeper. Okay, he's not had a good season. Season went down, but there's something there. And then he goes and has an unbelievable season for Burnley last year. So I'm not surprised. It's just whether... We keep talking about tactics and, systems and all that sort of thing. Ederson with his feet is the best. He's the best I've ever seen in the Premier League with his feet, without doubt. Yeah. Trafford is a really good, he's a really good shot stopper, isn't he? But with his feet, and he can do it. I've seen clips of it. He do it, but he's just not as elegant as, say, Ederson, and he takes a little bit longer. Ederson is like, Take the
He's
touch.
the best, though, isn't he? He's
bang.
the best of all of them, isn't he?
You know,
Edison
yeah,
with
he's
his
the best.
feet,
With his feet. Even like the assist that he got for Haaland. I remember when I think it was against Brighton, where it was like 50, 60 yards, and then Haaland bumped dunk off it, I think it was, and then slotted it in. So obviously he's got a lot to live up to, but in terms of shot stopping, he's very good. He's got my backing.
Tell you what, Chelsea have done. Chelsea do a lot of business, don't they? Who keeps track on their team that actually Chelsea, like they're in, they're out, he's gone, he's in, he's out. I mean, they've done them some business. They've got Sorel Hatto for 40 million from Ajax. That's just been agreed. Be interesting to see who the centre-back pairing will be. They've got Hatto, Colwill, Chalabar, Fofana coming back from injury, Disassi returns from his Villa loan, Tosin, Badiashile, Mamadou Sarr, who's just been bought from Strasbourg for 14 million. I mean, although they think he might go straight out on loan, and they're also closing on, I know he plays different position, on Xavi Simon's deal. So, I mean, God blimey.
Delap on top of that, João Pedro on top of that.
The ones that have already got. I mean,
it's like... That's what I mean about the chasing pack with Newcastle and Forest and Spurs and all these clubs that must be looking above them and thinking, goodness me, the investment that the clubs were trying to catch are making is just incredible.
And they're very highly rumoured to be after Garnacho, of course, from Man United as well. I mean, they have offloaded João Felix to Al Nassr, so they've got one out.
One thing you got to give him credit for, though, is that the big question marks, certainly for me and you, Al, was, can the manager deal with all those players? And he dealt with it brilliantly well last season. So the answer to that is yes. He looks quite cutthroat when he needs to be. I think he's really good at the press. He bit back a little bit, when they got into the Champions League, didn't he? A little bit saying, I told you I was going to do it and all that sort of thing. But I don't mind that for a manager, backing himself, and he's the boss. The players are bought into what he wants to do, and they performed. But like you just mentioned there, João Pedro in the Club World Cup, I mean, sensational signing for them. And long may it continue, because you want the league to be competitive, and I think it definitely will be this season.
Interesting start to the season in terms of who they've bought, and even in their pre-season friendlies. Spurs, just hearing that Paulinho's loan move is being confirmed.
What a signing.
Really solid, proven Premier League player, really good. So an impressive start, I think, for Thomas Frank. They beat Arsenal, of course. I know these pre-season friendlies mean absolutely nothing, but it's still good for your confidence. Kudus has come, Kevin Danso, Matthias Tell as well. He was on loan last season, of course. They've taken that option to buy. So, good business for Thomas Frank. I suppose the obvious thing is the Gibbs White. Yeah. Could we call that a debacle or a kind of...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether I don't know if I should chuckle, but did you see when he was interviewed and he had the chairman right by his side, Marinakis, and it looked like... It was almost like gone to his head before he was talking.
It was just strange, wasn't it?
It was so strange.
He didn't look the happiest, did he?
He did, and he mentioned his name. This is really good because everything that Mr. Marinakis has done at the club and that chairman, and it's bless him.
We've got to be careful what we say, though, Al. We don't want to get banned from the stadium, do we? Do you know what I mean?
No, we don't. But he managed to keep his player. Maybe someone's needed to do that at Newcastle. I don't know.
They might just do that. Let's wait and see. You never know.
But yeah, I think Spurs they'll definitely have a better season than last season in terms of a league position. Because if they don't, they'll go down. But Man United, obviously we've already talked about Cunha and Bumo.
Yeah, two good signings.
But they need a lot more, don't they? Really,
need at least another three, I would say. They need a top class centre forward.
Well, they're in for Sesko, aren't they? You mentioned earlier on about that as well. So there's a lot going on. Quick mention before we go on Sunderland, because one of the promoted clubs obviously got up via the playoffs. And they're often the teams that are almost certain to go down. But they've done some business. They've got Enzo Lafay for a fee of 19.3 million. Habib Diarra from Strasbourg for 30 million. Noah Siddiqui from Royal Union Saint-Gilloise. What a name. 15 million plus 2.5 in add-ons. Mandava from Atletico Madrid on a free. Talbi from Club Bruges for 18 million. Adingra from Brighton for 18 million. Granit Xhaka, I think, is a really, really good signing. A bit of experience for 13 million. So, and Robin Roofs from Nijmegen. I don't know how to say that name. NEC Nijmegen. Reported 11.5 million quid. So they're having a right pop.
Yeah, but that's fine. I think I agree with you in terms of the Granit Xhaka one. I think for experience-wise, that's a really good signing. Didn't Ipswich spend an absolute fortune last year, and that didn't help them. So we'll have to see. But as a fan, you'd prefer them to see them doing that than doing nothing. So
are you a fan?
Let's see.
Sunderland, Al, is that what you just said?
As a Sunderland fan, you would like them to see them do that rather than sitting still.
Well, it still sounds like as a Sunderland fan myself.
Let us see, shall we?
Wait, before we move on, because I put it in the group something that talked about Oshimen's basically signed a deal for 3 or 4 years he's at Galatasaray in Turkey.
Yeah.
And I put in a group, like, I can't believe it. Like, a top player like that should be playing. Galatasaray is a massive club, but in terms of European football, like, it could do better than that, in my opinion. So Alan decides to say he's not sure he's that good. So I said he'd be top 3 number 9s in the Premier League. Fact. So I want you guys to put a little debate out on the Rest is Football on the socials and see where he would rank in terms of number 9s in the Premier League. Because Al can only name 2, and I said he'd be 3.
Oh, come on. It's a bit unfair. You can't.
Haaland,
you're not saying Salah's like. I mean, come on. I know you're saying Salah's a winger, but I know he's not a 9. But oh, come on. Salah, Isak, Haaland. There you go. There's 3.
Salah. That is a ridiculous shout. That you might as well put David Beckham in there as well. Then you silly son.
Okay, João Pedro. There you go. There's 3.
No, João Pedro is. I was the one talking about him at Brighton. Unbelievable. But you cannot say he's better than Oshimen. You cannot say that. Not a chance.
I mean, I saw Oshimen play in a couple of times against Leicester.
Anyone score against that mob?
When they were in the Europa League, yes, anyone can score against that mob, particularly nowadays, but not so much in that. But he was so impressive, and I've followed his career because of that, and he was absolutely brilliant for Napoli. I mean, he was sensational for that season. I do hear on the grapevine that a reason 1 or 2 of the clubs are a little bit nervous is that he sometimes can go missing for a few days. So there's apparently there's some kind of slight question mark as to his character in that sense. But whether that's true or not, I wouldn't confirm it. But that's what someone that's quite close to 1 or 2 big clubs and agents and stuff like that. But
if that's true, that makes sense then. But
because he does seem strange, doesn't it? Correct. He's never ended up at one of the giants because he's talent-wise.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. And also we should mention that Lucas Paqueta has been cleared. So that, which is pleasing for him and for West Ham fans, I'm sure. If you remember rightly, he had charges by an independent regulatory commission almost 2 years after the Football Association launched an investigation into him. The FA started their investigation in August 23, and the Brazil international was charged in May last year for allegedly getting booked deliberately for the improper purpose of affecting the betting market. Paqueta was facing the prospect of a lifetime ban if the 27-year-old was found guilty. The 4 charges against him related to a Premier League game against Leicester City on 12th of November 2022, as well as 23 fixtures against Villa and Leeds United and Bournemouth. The regulatory commission found these 4 charges to be not proven following the hearing. So he said, since the first day of the investigation, I've maintained my innocence against these extremely serious accusations. So, well, that's good that that's cleared up.
That's ridiculous. Before the accusations, he was branded around for 100 million quid.
I know.
We stopped the deal to go into Man City. Man City pulled out, didn't they, for that reason? I mean, It's incredible now that 2 years on, after going through all of that, there's nothing being proven against him. I mean, what does he do now as an individual?
Does he take legal proceedings?
100%.
Exactly. That's.
I
don't know. It's not. Yeah.
It spoiled his potential dream move. If he's innocent, then if he went to court now, they'd have to pay some sort of, I don't know, court fees or some sort of settlement or whatnot. It spoiled his dream move.
Yeah.
You know?
The West Ham fans.
Oh my God.
Like
No, I mean, no disrespect to West Ham fans. I mean, he's been unbelievable. West Ham know as a club, once a player gets to a certain level, that they're happy to go and see him flourish as long as they, rewarded for that. So it doesn't, something's fishy. I don't like it. I don't like that at all.
I don't know. That whole thing about gambling and they shouldn't have odds on yellow cards, and it shouldn't be, because they don't need to do that, the bookies, do they? Odds on getting a yellow card in the second half and all. I mean, it opens it. I know the temptations are there, and there's people in dark spots around the world that can manipulate these things, and who knows, players could conceivably be threatened at some point to do this sort of thing by people that are trying to cash in on these odds and stuff. But anyway, that's just it's the whole slightly murky world around football, and unfortunately of gambling. But anyway, that's it for the Rest is Football. We'll be back on Wednesday with our first part of an interview I did with Mikel John Obi, and I've got to say, guys, it was one of the most enjoyable, fascinating, absolutely mind-boggling interviews that I've ever done. And we did nearly 2 hours, and I'm going to put it out into 2 episodes. Honestly, it's his story of when he signed for Chelsea rather than Man United is quite simply extraordinary, and it took about 25, 30 minutes to tell it. His dad got kidnapped twice in his career, once before a big game and once before a World Cup match against Argentina. Extraordinary stories, and he tells the stories brilliantly. He's also funny. I think absolutely recommend anyone to listen to that. You'll really enjoy it. And lastly, another reminder to sign up for the Players Lounge. It's completely free, and you can join by heading to therestisfootball.com or by hitting the link in the description. But for now, goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.